Well, welcome back to Letting Go University. So, one of the principles that we work with here in Letting Go University is that your mind is incredibly influential over what you're experiencing. And there's this mind that calibrates at 400, and the body and the earth calibrates around 200. And so it's so much more powerful what's held in mind than what's actually appearing in the physical and material. If you want to learn more about the levels of consciousness that Dr. David R. Hawkins put out, the map of consciousness, you can check out his book, Letting Go, The Pathway of Surrender. Also a whole lot of stuff about letting go, the technique in here. So you're doing all these affirmations, you've got your goals, you have you're attempting to use your mind consciously to to potentiate some things that you think would be desirable. And maybe you do the Course in Miracles, maybe you're studying some of Dr. Hawkins' work, or studying success. You're starting to put some things in the field consciously. You're choosing these things and you're saying, this is what I am choosing now. And your mind being so powerful, it frequently what's held in mind does show up. In fact, as Lester Levinson suggested, every thought that passes through your mind is showing up. You're too powerful. This is the problem. There's too much power going on, and the mind is running all over the place. And so if you take anything that's happened, even something you don't like, something bad, you can find that there's some point where you held that in mind, or where you made an unconscious decision for it. And people get frustrated because they're like, oh, I'm doing my affirmations, I'm doing my goal setting, I'm choosing to go in this way, but it's not going the way it's supposed to. Well, if you're powerful, if the mind is powerful, and what's held in mind is very likely to happen, tends to manifest, then even though you're doing all this conscious manifestation work or choosing something, there's oftentimes so many other thoughts going in different directions, so that energy's going all over the place. And it's not that it's not going to manifest, but there's too much interference. And so and also you've got an unlimited amount of time for this stuff to manifest. So you might have so much in your field that it's going to take 2, 5, 10 lifetimes for all of this stuff to show up. And what's showing up today might not even be something from this current lifetime experience. It might be something that was held in mind 5, 10 lifetimes ago. And that's showing up today. Now, I know there might be some resistance to that, but the idea being what's held in mind tends to manifest. And if you want to start having a clearer path to manifestation more rapidly, then we want to release the feelings behind these thoughts of what we don't want. And as we release those feelings, that's going to clear out the attractor pattern for all of those thoughts in the past and all the other stuff that you've banked for going forward. So it's very, very powerful to let go of the negative feelings. So how are thoughts showing up? They're not really my thoughts or your thoughts. They're the programs and thought forms that happen at these different levels of consciousness. So on the frequency of guilt, there's thousands of thought forms there, and just insert your characters and situations. But somebody in China, in Chinese, is thinking the same thoughts with their characters and situations on that frequency. Now, the same thing goes for maybe in Anger, you're having these thoughts and it seems like they're your thoughts and they're unique to you. Whereas there's somebody in the United Kingdom who's having the same thoughts just with their situations and their characters. So they're not really unique. It's an attractor pattern. It's an attractor field. So when you release the emotion behind the thoughts, you release the anger or you release the fear, you release the guilt, all of a sudden, those thoughts just disappear from your experience and your mind is clear to focus on, to put a conscious thought in there. Put a conscious thought that you're choosing and it's not going to have as much interference anymore. So just notice this as you go through your letting go process, that as that feeling lightens up, your mind gets quieter and quieter. Those thoughts that you don't want, thinking about what you don't want, reduces, and you'll find that more and more you're consciously using your mind or your mind is free. So let's do some releasing. You can check out these attractor patterns and these feelings just by noticing something you've been thinking about that you don't even want. Something that's not wanting it, holding in mind what's not wanted. And could you allow yourself, without fear, notice there's probably some fear about this because your mind is so powerful and you know how what you hold in mind tends to manifest. There's oftentimes fear about thinking about what's not wanted. And it's okay. Could you allow yourself to just look at it, just to bring up the feeling, to let it go, not to keep it? So could you allow yourself to just look at one of these things that keeps popping into your mind that you don't even want? But your powerful mind, it'll manifest whatever's held in mind. So just noticing that thought, and could you allow yourself to go behind the thought, now ignore the thought and notice the feeling. Where is the feeling? Could you allow the feeling to be there? And just start to open up so that feeling can go, so that vibration can go, and those thoughts won't show up anymore. Just sitting with that feeling, just a feeling, opening up to it so that it can run out. In the case of fear, there might be a lot of it. That's okay. It's worth it when you run it out. To just keep sitting with it, keep letting it run. And could you let it out? Let it go. Would you let it go? And just starting to lighten up this feeling behind all the thoughts of what you don't want. And you can't really stop the thoughts. They just keep popping up. These pictures, these images, and all that is just old programming. All that old programming is filed in feelings. And so you have this image pop up. Oh, nope, that's not what I prefer to manifest. That's not what I prefer to have come into my experience. And so let it help you. You can let that thought form, that picture, those words, those symbols help you to notice the vibration, the feeling that's been carried, to let it go. So behind the thought of what's not wanted or what you didn't consciously choose to think about, could you drop into that feeling? Just bring your awareness into the feeling and let the thoughts scroll by without engaging with them. When you engage with a thought, you get more and more of it. So just letting the thought scroll by. And dropping into the feeling, aware of the feeling. And could you let the feeling Not a good feeling, not a bad feeling, just an attractor pattern, just some energy, and it just needs a chance to go. Could you give it a chance? Just ignoring the thoughts, feeling the feeling, letting it run. And could you surrender that feeling? Just giving it up, not fighting it, not pushing it away, not trying to change it, just surrendering it, letting it go. Would you let it go if you could? When could you let go? When could you surrender? This vibration, this attractor pattern, this feeling. Just give it up. And noticing any shift in that feeling. Could you just allow, if there's more, just keep letting it run. Just takes what it takes. And as this feeling goes, the mind's going to get quieter and quieter. The more you sit with the feelings and ignore the thoughts, the less distracted you are, the more the feeling can release. And so just noticing if there's any more, holding in mind what's not wanted. And is that what you choose with your powerful mind to bring into your experience, to potentiate in your experience? And if not, could you go behind the thoughts and allow yourself to experience the feeling just as it is? Letting those thoughts go by without following them. Could you just drop into the feeling, experience it, let it unpack? Just feeling a feeling. Thoughts block off the releasing. Could you ignore the thoughts, keep the door open, and just feel that feeling, let it run, stay with it? A feeling that's just allowed to run will run out all on its own. If you ignore the thoughts and just allow it. And could you allow it to release? So simple. Could you keep it really simple? Just feeling that feeling, ignoring the thoughts, and letting that feeling release, letting it unpack, letting it dissolve. And as it releases, there's less and less interference in your mind with thoughts of things that aren't wanted. Could you just allow more and more releasing of this vibration, this attractor pattern, this feeling, so those thoughts stop showing up? And it's okay. Those thoughts showing up are just a flag saying, hey, there's a feeling, there's a vibration running here. And so when you have one of those thoughts of something that's not wanted, not preferred, rather than engaging with that thought form and getting more and more thoughts like it, could you just ignore the thoughts and notice that vibration that thought was showing you was in your field? Notice that feeling. Maybe it's in the stomach, maybe it's in the chest, maybe it's in the throat. Wherever that feeling is, whatever it is, could you open up and just allow that feeling, give that feeling a moment to unpack, a moment to go. Could you just give it this moment, just feeling it, this moment, ignoring the thoughts, this moment, feeling the feeling, this moment, and this moment. And just letting that feeling run, letting that vibration vibrate out, letting it go. Could you let it go? Would you let it go? It's just a choice. Yes or no is fine. It's really helpful in the releasing process to just be honest. When could you let it go? And it's okay if there's more. We've stored so much of this energy, so much of this feeling, just giving it as much time as it needs to release. And it's lightening up this whole time. Throughout this whole process, you're lightening up the load. You can only see the feeling that you're aware of right now. You can't see how much you've released or how much is left. Could you just keep letting it go? Could you let go of some more? And could you let go of some more? And just noticing the shift in the energy body. Noticing if that feeling lightens up or comes up more, or goes or shifts to another feeling. It's all okay. Opening up and allowing this feeling to release. And so just noticing that thought form that you were holding in mind, that kept popping in mind, that you didn't even want. Can you even think of it? Can you even remember it? And it's fine if you can't. Really well done releasing. If you can't remember, if it's still there, that's okay. Just noticing the thought without grabbing onto it. Could you just let the thought go by without valuing it, without engaging with it, and notice any more of that feeling there? And just letting that feeling do what it does without trying to change it, modify it. Could you just experience the feeling just as it is? If it's labeled, it's fine. If it's not labeled, that's okay. Could you just let the feeling be a feeling, just a feeling, letting it run. Just giving it a chance to release. Nothing to fight, just something to release. Fighting the feelings, trying to change them, claims they're real, keeps them stuck. But you just open up and let that feeling release. Would you let it release? And just notice as that feeling's finally free to go, to move, to shift. Could you let it release? And so as you continue to do this, you're going to find that that feeling lights up more and more. Eventually, it might just go. Sometimes it comes in waves. If you find thoughts popping up and hijacking your powerful mind and potentiating things you don't want to happen now or in the future, rather than going, no, shouldn't think about that, and resisting the thought, which is going to get more and more of it, because you just ignore the thought. Let the thought pass by. Drop into the feeling. Let that feeling run out. And notice as your mind gets quieter and quieter, less and less things are popping up that you didn't even choose to think about. And you get to experience with a quiet mind, with a still mind, you can put your goals in there, you can put your affirmations in there, and there's far less interference as you release more and more of these attractor patterns of all those negative thoughts you didn't even want, all those counter thoughts to your goals. Well done releasing. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, and have the best day.